Nice!
Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here, and this is the video review for the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Warpath. Once again, we're getting a new mini-bot to add to our collections. And this time, it's Mr. Bam Pow himself, Warpath. And he's not too bad looking. He is a repaint of the Generations Megatron that came out last year. Or maybe a couple years ago, I can't remember exactly. He was one of the first Generations Legends to hit, so he might be a 2013 model. But Warpath is a repaint of him. And he isn't a bad one either. The tank mode is actually perfect for the character. Warpath is this nice little burgundy red tank that works pretty well. It's not an H tank, which is a rarity these days. So that's a pretty solid thing there. And it's pretty close to his G1 self. In fact, let's get it out of the way now and bring in the little Dickens. As you can see, it's not a bad likeness to the G1 tank. There is some differences, like in how the treads work, and well, obviously the turret's a little bigger. But they got the basic idea down, which works really nicely. Other than that, yeah, there's not much else to say. A lot of nice paint apps here. Got the little gunmetal vents on the back. Nicely painted treads. Yeah, unfortunately you can tell where the hands go, but it's kind of avoidable in the way he transforms. Yeah, I mean, for Warpath, this isn't a bad choice, but there have been other Warpaths released in the past, like the current champ for the character, Generations Deluxe Warpath, which was out a few years prior. Now, main difference is that this one's a bit bigger, and he is indeed an H-tank, which might turn people more toward this one. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I still like this one better personally, but that's just my opinion. This guy, if you don't have him, this guy is pretty good. Now, why don't we bring in the guy he was actually repainted from, and that is Megatron. And as you can see, as far as the paint jobs go, it's very different. You got a silver whitish, well, a grayish tank versus a red tank. Not a whole lot of not a whole lot to really talk about. So, I think it's about time we got him into robot mode, and this is so simple I'm not going to bother stop motioning it. You just take these out, flip out the legs, fold up the legs, which is really nice use of parts. Yeah, he's a bit of a shell former, but all that shell becomes the legs, so I can't complain too much. Then you just fold in the arms. Just get everything set, and you're all done. And there's Warpath in robot mode. Now the robot mode is nice, but it's a little bit off from his G1 self. Mainly in the fact that the turret is not in his belly, like it should be, or on his chest. Either way, it's on his arm, like Megatron's fusion cannon. Makes sense since he's a repaint of Megatron, but for Warpath, it doesn't quite work as well. Also, Warpath's arms should all be red. They were like that on the G1 toy. You know, a little bit more red on the arms instead of painting them gray probably would help the vehicle mode blend better, and it'd help them be more G1 accurate. I know this isn't a G1 toy, but you know, I'm a little nitpicky on these things. And if I'm going to be nitpicky, yes, he does not have treads for feet, although they are on the back of his legs, so it's not like it's totally wrong. So yeah, but you know, he is what he is. The head sculpt is very nice. Now you got a really cool Autobot symbol tampoed on there. Looks really good. I do like the head sculpt. That is a really good head. So they did something right with them. And the paint apps are applied very well. And I will give it them. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He has really nice paint apps. You can see the Autobot symbol tampoed onto the chest. He has some nice black bits on there as well. There's a gold in the waist just to help it stand out. And as I mentioned, he does have the paint on the arms. I don't think it was needed to place him there, but it's there to help bring him out, help him pop. You know, and the kneecaps, again, that nice gunmetal gray, since that was the back of the tank. I mean, so he is well painted. He looks good. I can't complain about that much. I just prefer a little bit more G1 accuracy, like in Power Glide or Cosmos, or Gears. You know, Hasbro's been really good about giving us some G1 accurate mini-bots, and I think Warpath took a step in the wrong direction. Basically because Hasbro wanted to repaint this little Megatron. You know, and the mold would be great for a character like, say, Slammer, who would have been great if he came with Metroflex, but didn't come along. But yeah, we'll get a little more into that later because there is something I want to show you about that. But, you know, as far as repaints go, he's okay. I still think Megatron's the better one for the mold between the two, but that's just my opinion. Okay, but let's bring in a couple more comparisons. Let's start with the G1 figure. As you can see, they're a little bit more different from each other, although you can see where certain nods were taken. So yeah. And we'll also bring in the Deluxe Generations Warpath, who is a little bit more closer to the G1 counterpart. Bit bigger, bit bulkier. Honestly, I think the Deluxe is the better Warpath. I mean, that's, again, my personal opinion. Interestingly enough, out of these three, none of them have the same color red to them. They're all different colors. So, as far as color schemes go, neither of these guys match up. Although he's a little bit closer. I'll give him credit. He is a closer red to this. This one's a little bit more off. So, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for the best Warpath for a classic shelf, he's the one to go for. If you can't find him, he's okay. Or if you just want a small Warpath, like if you really need to have the legend size, he will work. But I still think this is a little bit better. And again, that is my personal opinion. But we're not done with Warpath here because you remember I mentioned Slammer. Well, I think with the figures we got here, I think we can get ourselves a bit of a Slammer. So let's get these guys fused together. And yeah, Warpath's body plus Megatron's arms and legs brings us a nice little Slammer. And sure, Slammer's supposed to be a white tank, but the gray and the gray shades work pretty well for him. And so I think this would work as a Slammer figure. Now, since I forgot to do it before, we'll get into articulation. Since this is just swapped parts, it's no different. So you got a ball joint on a swivel at the head, ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, ball jointed hips, and hinged knees. Again, Warpath's limbs will be no different on this guy. Although I do notice that Megatron's arm is a little looser on Warpath than Warpath's arm is. But other than that, yeah, there's no real difference. So that articulation run would work for Warpath out of the box. But anyway, since this is supposed to be Slammer, why don't we get him some decent comparison company? And that would be Scamper and the Iron Factory Mini Windblade. And you can see he goes pretty well with them. So if you just want to swap Megatron's parts out for Warpaths on this guy and just make him your Slammer figure, he will work. Now Iron Factory has done a Slammer and 6-gun 2-pack in about the same scale as that Windblade. So if you prefer, you can go that route, but if you can't afford it or can't get a hold of it, this is a nice option as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little review of Warpath. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, so long, have fun, and bye-bye.